Greetings, traveler. I always talk to you, but I never really talked about my background and my particular skill set. And recently, a traveler called SLR Mod Shop had a question about what my background is, what I do every day specifically, what my expertise is, and so on. So today let's talk about that. My name is Xanthos. I've been working in the games industry for over 10 years now. And way before I started working in the games industry, I knew I wanted to make games. That was my greatest desire in life. That's what I wanted to do. But way back then, especially in Greece, there was no academic field or institution or anything like that that taught specifically how to make games in a game design sense. The closest thing was learning how to program, so coding. And because of that, in university, I did computer science. I did a bit of artificial intelligence back then. Nothing like the shape it is today, of course, much more basic than today. So my background was in programming. And when I started working as a game tester and then as an engineer, because without a prior experience or education in game design, I found out it was quite difficult to jump into that role. But thanks to some open-minded people that I happen to work with, I made the jump to game designer, and I have been focusing on that ever since. So game design specifically, but more expanded to what game design entails, what is the experience for the player, and how can we make it better. And in that journey, I discovered that only caring about game design basically wouldn't let me get to that goal of ensuring the best possible experience for the player. I had to learn about other fields. I spoke before about learning about sound and art, and I knew some things already about coding, but there's way more than that. There is marketing, and there is the economics of the game, there's politics within the team, there is the knowledge of publishing and how to make your game known, and all these other fields that came into focus when I started thinking about that. So it turned out that just making an interesting game or just having a good idea about a feature about a game, for me, it was not nearly enough to get to my goal. So I started learning about all these things. And pro tip, by the way, if you're in an interview and you have other interests than specifically what the role is about, do not tell them about them. Just focus on the one thing that the interview is supposed to be about, so sound or game design or whatever, and don't tell them about all the other stuff, because people get confused about exactly what it is you do. So my advice is to keep it simple. Anyway, so I started learning about all these fields, and the more I understood about other fields than game design, the more the game's experience improved over time for the features I designed and for the games I designed. So having that skill set and having that background, what I do nowadays in my day-to-day is I focus completely on game design. I think about only the player experience. How can I make it as good as possible with the best assets, with the best environment for the user, and so on. And typically at least half my day goes into reviewing game design documents, creating features, updating game balance numbers, pretty standard game designer stuff. And basically the other half goes to either communicating a feature to the development team, how I want them to make it, what I expect out of it, and so on. And also checking their progress and checking the work that they have done. So because I have to communicate with so many people from different disciplines, you can see how it's important to know a little bit about how they work, so you can give them better specs, like more clear instructions, and have a better way to judge their work. Anyway, I think that about covers it. I hope this is helpful to you, and thanks again for the question, and as always, have fun.